How to know if she is the right one for you? I earlier has have made this video where I was talking about how to know when to break up with a girl or woman, whatever. Yeah, like about the negative traits which one should not ignore. But how do you know which one is the right one for you? Well, there are a few signs, of course. I think too many people really tend to ignore. They Too many people kind of they rush in and hope for the best because they like the person really for some reason, whatever reason. And sometimes it's even about us feeling like we simply need someone to love. It's like a surrogate thing. And but once you get deep into it, once you reconstruct or deconstruct, your relationship, you can find out this is not it. But how to know? Once again, all right, if she, so I'm of course speaking from the male perspective because I am a male, simply. All right, so if she remembers the things you say, if she takes interest in the things you like, for instance, that's very important. That's a really strong case for that she really probably feels something for you and not just on the physical level. Yeah, you don't want to be with someone who doesn't really care that much about your passions or your interests, right? Your hobbies or things that are important to you. You don't want to be with a woman who doesn't remember these things, and that's a really important thing there. Women hate it when we men forget these things also. Women really hate it. Like, what was her first pet and what was its name and stuff like that. If she has told you that, she expects you to remember that, buddy. Yeah, they don't really like having to repeat themselves. And especially if you've been going out for like over a year. So yeah, that's very important. And showing interest in your life, showing interest in your private life, in your interests, and just knowing these things if she does know it, very good sign. Means she cares about you. Simply, she cares about you. She really feels something for you. Yeah. What other signs are there? If she kind of, nobody want to be with a selfish woman, right? So if this woman really shows like she that it's important to her, if you let's say if you have had a bad day or if you get sick or something, and there's nothing worse with women who don't really want to be, around you when you get sick and stuff. Not so much because they are afraid of getting it themselves, but there are people who are selfish and don't like dealing with sick people and stuff like that. Sorry. Yeah. No, I'm really, I'm doing the brainstorming at the same time now as I'm talking. So forgive me if I'm slow now. Um, yeah. What else? I mean, yeah. I mean, if she really cares, like, um, there is that, from the movie Bronx Tale, the door test. That's a pretty good one. Pretty good example. If you open the door, you let her in, and if she hasn't reached out to unlock the door on your side, it means she's not a keeper. But yes, it made kind of seem a little too cruel to some people, but it does show the nature and of the woman you are dating, and shows her worth, to put it that way. Shows that she has the warmth, and that she has the empathy, that she simply cares about you, and wants to make things easier for you also, and not just someone who just doesn't really care much. All she's interested in is to get making it comfortable for herself, and yeah, women who really I mean, that how it is really. Usually we have to wait for the women, not the other way around. Even though I have seen young women wait for guys as well, but that's pretty rare. Sometimes it happens, but not that often. So yeah, we have to wait for them, but there is a limit, to how long it is polite to keep a man waiting, to let a man wait for her. I mean, if there are women who really don't care, I mean, if she comes like 45 minutes late, it is a bad sign. It doesn't have to mean that much, but it can be it usually is, and especially if it happens all the time. If it happens once, no big deal. Maybe she couldn't find her keys, or someone called her, in the last second, and she couldn't get rid of that person, whatever. But or even a traffic jam or something. But if it keeps happening, and she doesn't, especially if she doesn't really apologize that much, or then it's not a good sign. But now I'm talking about what's not a good sign. Too much. Well, good sign is, yeah, that, I mean, if she really seemed to seem sorry for keeping you wait too long and stuff like that, and yeah, and that's a good sign, of course. It means she's considerate. And other good signs that she might be the one, well, I mean, like if she defends you against other people who are attacking you for whatever reason, if she really goes and takes to how do you put it, takes your defense, all right, put it that way. Might not be grammatically correct, but who cares? If she keeps taking your defense, and really is always on your side in arguments, well, unless she thinks you are not right, but still, there are women who just don't do that. They just sit there and let you manage by yourself. And yeah, as I said in that video, like when you should dump a woman, there are unfortunately women who let their friends, let's say, talk bad about you, or even make fun of you, in their presence, and That's a no-no, right? And that shows that actually you are not that important to her. I mean, it means that her friends are equally important to her as you are, or even more important than you are. So, and you don't want that, right? You want to be number one. Let's face it. Everybody likes to be number one on the priority list. So yeah. But in general, yeah, it goes like it's always the same. Elsewhere, like the same principles. Intelligence, emotional maturity, warmth, empathy, care, and what the hell? It is like that, I mean, some women don't have so much of all that I said, and but if you find one that does, and yeah, she's a keeper, of course. And also, if I don't like women who are very, very vain and shallow. So a vain and shallow woman will also never put you first. Never. And I really hate that. But unfortunately, yeah, there are. Now I gotta go there again. Sorry, but there are quite many women today, like between the ages of 20 to 50, let's say, who are pretty shallow and self-absorbed, and she will never, like, let's say this scenario. She has a very fancy thing scheduled, like maybe a fashion show or something, and she hears you've been like hit by a car or something, you're in hospital, and does she really cancel that show and go to you, straight to you? Those women, I don't think, would do that, really. As brutal as it sounds, she would go to her fashion show first and then come visit you. But a really good woman will say, to hell with the fashion show. I gotta go see how he is, right? So yeah, I think I pretty much covered it all. I mean, there probably is one or two more points, I mean, but those are the most obvious, and yeah. Yeah. Alright. Bye.